Brother, my precious sister in Christ, salt isn't just for cooking. For thousands of years, people all over the world have treated salt as something incredibly special and sometimes even sacred. Today, I want to dive into a topic I absolutely love: the magical and mystical side of salt. We are going to explore how you can use this simple everyday ingredient as a powerful charm to protect yourself and attract good things into your life. First, let's look at why salt is known as the ultimate symbol of purity. In many different cultures and religious ceremonies, people use it to cleanse spaces and ward off bad vibration. Did you know that in ancient times, salt was actually treated like money? It was so deeply valued that Roman soldiers were sometimes paid with it. In fact, that is exactly where our modern word salary comes from. You have probably heard the old superstition that spilling salt brings bad luck. To fix it, you are supposed to take a quick pinch with your right hand and toss it over your left shoulder. This quirky tradition actually goes way back through history. In esoteric and magical practices, salt is deeply connected to the earth. Because of its raw protective power, people use it to draw invisible boundaries, cast protective circles, and clear away heavy negative energy before doing any kind of spiritual work. Even the Bible talks a lot about salt, especially its ability to preserve things. Long before modern refrigerators were invented, rubbing salt on food was the only way to keep it fresh and stop it from spoiling. This idea of preservation became a beautiful metaphor for holiness and staying true. For instance, in Matthew 5:13, the text says, "You are the salt of the earth." The message is clear. Just like salt keeps food good and flavorful, it holds the power to transform, protect, and preserve our own spiritual energy. So with all this fascinating history in mind, let's get to the practical part. Why should you put a pinch of salt in your shoe? Think about it. Spiritually, your legs and feet represent your roots, your personal journey, and your ability to move forward in life. When things go wrong and you can't seem to reach your goals, we'd often call it stumbling. This is exactly where negative energy tries to trip you up. By placing a little salt inside your shoe, whether it is the right or the left one, you are creating a personal magical shield. It keeps your path clear so you can walk confidently toward your dreams without tripping over bad energy. There is even a beautiful verse that captures this feeling of moving forward safely. Psalm 56:13 says, "For you have delivered my soul from death and my feet from stumbling, that I may walk before God in the light of the living." It is a wonderful reminder that your path forward can always be protected. Now let's get right into how you actually do this. First, grab a little bit of salt. It honestly does not matter if you use regular table salt or sea salt. I personally love using sea salt because it is a bit closer to nature and feels purer, but just use whatever you have at home. Put a small amount into a little dish, and now we are going to activate it. Imagine the salt sitting right in front of you. Take your middle finger and slowly stir the salt in gentle clockwise circles. Why the middle finger? Well, it is often called the heart finger, and spiritually it is connected to the element of ether or spirit. This makes it the perfect energetic bridge to help pull the things you deeply desire out of the universe and right into your everyday reality. As you are swirling the salt, what should you say? The goal here is to fill that salt with a strong sense of protection and a very specific wish. Let's say you are looking for a new job. You could say something like, "I activate this salt to protect me and guide me straight to the amazing job I deserve." The secret recipe here is to always include the words activation and protection. When you put a little salt in your shoes before going out, you're doing something that has been whispered about for generations. A quiet act of faith that carries a mystery most people overlook. Salt has always been more than seasoning. It is a symbol of preservation, protection, and purity. It has been used in sacred rituals, in prayers, and in covenants because it represents permanence. When you take that pinch of salt and place it gently inside your shoes, you are symbolically stepping into your day with divine covering. You are saying, "Everywhere I walk today, may it be blessed. Every path I take, may it be protected. Every door I enter, may favor walk in with me." This simple act holds a deep spiritual truth. Your steps carry power, and what you carry into your day determines what you attract back to you. The salt is not magic, it is a physical reminder of your spiritual authority. As you put it in your shoes, visualize light entering your path. See obstacles melting away like salt in water, and know that divine presence is going before you. People through centuries have believed that salt wards off negativity, absorbs bad energy, and invites blessing. Whether you see it as symbolism or spiritual science, one thing is certain: when done with faith, this small act begins to shift your energy, your confidence, and your circumstances. Imagine yourself standing at the doorway of your day before you step out. You add that tiny bit of salt, not with superstition, but with prayer. You whisper, "Lord, go before me wherever my feet touch today. Let there be peace, protection, and provision." The moment you do this consciously, something changes inside you. You walk differently, you feel lighter, you carry a quiet strength. The salt becomes your silent agreement with the universe that no harm will come near your dwelling, and that blessings will follow your path. It is the same principle seen in ancient traditions where salt was placed at entrances to purify and protect. Even in the scriptures, salt is called the covenant of God, a symbol of faithfulness that cannot be broken. When you step out with salt in your shoes, you are not performing a ritual, you are carrying a reminder that divine power walks with you. The simple becomes sacred when done with purpose. You will notice that on days you do this with full faith, things seem to align, traffic flows smoother, strangers act kinder, and opportunities appear in unexpected places. It's as though the universe recognizes your energy and rearranges itself to meet you with peace instead of resistance. Salt has the ability to draw out impurities, and in the same way, it draws out the negative energy from your path. It absorbs tension, confusion, and unseen resistance. When you step into a space with salted steps, that energy works quietly beneath your awareness, cleansing the spiritual atmosphere. You may not see it, but you will feel it. Doors that once closed may open easily. Conversations that used to drain you may turn uplifting. And situations that once made you anxious may begin to flow effortlessly. The reason is simple: your energy is now anchored in faith, not fear. By doing something intentional at the start of your day, you set a tone of expectancy. You are telling the world, "I am ready for good things today." The act of putting salt in your shoes also grounds you. It connects you to the earth while aligning you with Him. Each step becomes a declaration of peace, each movement a silent prayer. And soon you realize that miracles don't always happen with thunder and lightning. Sometimes they happen quietly in the way your day flows when you start it with faith. Those who understand the deeper meaning of salt know it. It's not just about superstition, it's about awareness. You are awakening your consciousness to divine partnership. You are reminding yourself that you are not walking into the world unprotected. Every step is guided. Every meeting has purpose. Every moment holds potential. When you put salt in your shoes, do it not with fear of what might happen, but with excitement for what is about to unfold. Speak blessings over yourself as you do it. My path is clear, my energy is strong, my spirit is open to abundance. Words spoken in faith activate spiritual laws. You begin to attract opportunities, resources, and people that resonate with your peace. Suddenly, things that used to stress you lose their power. You carry calmness into chaos and watch the atmosphere shift in your favor. This is the unseen effect of a heart aligned with trust. In many cultures, salt symbolizes wisdom, preservation, and covenant. It is used to seal promises because it does decay, it endures. When you carry it in your shoes, you are making a statement that your journey today will be preserved, that nothing will spoil your progress or drain your energy. Salt has also been seen as a purifier. It removes stagnation, keeps things fresh, and maintains balance. When placed with intention, it becomes a spiritual filter between you and negativity. You might notice that you feel lighter walking, as though invisible burdens are lifting. That is because this simple act realigns your focus from fear to faith. Every time your foot touches the ground, it releases silent prayer vibrations of gratitude and protection. And gratitude, when paired with belief, is the highest frequency of manifestation. It invites blessings that last, not fleeting luck. You might think, how can something so simple make such a difference? But how faith often works, it hides power in small acts. Like a mustard seed that grows into a tree, small actions rooted in belief produce massive results. When you use salt this way, you are training your subconscious mind to expect good outcomes. You are telling your spirit that you are walking in divine favor. It is no longer about superstition, it is about mindset and energy. Every person carries an aura, and your aura responds to your intentions. The salt amplifies purity, clarity, and spiritual strength in that aura, repelling what does to belong. You'll notice fewer distractions, clearer thoughts, and smoother progress. Even unexpected blessings, discounts, favor, kindness begin to appear. Because when your energy is right, everything external aligns. Salt also connects to the element of earth, grounding your energy so you don't carry the heaviness of others throughout your day. If you've ever come home drained after being around negative people, this small practice can shift that. By placing salt in your shoes, you create an energetic boundary that keeps you strong. You can walk into any environment and remain untouched by chaos. You'll feel peace even when others feel pressure. You'll move through crowded places and still keep your calm. And calmness attracts clarity, which leads to better decisions, and better decisions lead to favor. That's how a small act transforms your whole day. When you return home at night, you can remove the salt and thank God for the protection and favor you received that day. Dispose of it respectfully. Some prefer to wash it away, others to pour it under flowing water as a symbol of release. The idea is to close the day with gratitude, just as you started it with faith. Over time, this daily rhythm becomes sacred. It teaches you to live intentionally, to see the spiritual meaning in simple moments. You begin to notice that your life flows more smoothly, your relationships become more peaceful, and your finances more stable, not because of the salt itself, but because of the faith it awakened inside you. Faith that your steps are ordered, your energy is protected, and your path is blessed. So the next time you prepare to step out, pause. Take a small pinch of salt and place it in your shoes with love, not fear. Whisper a simple affirmation. Every step I take today is guided. Every place I go will welcome me with favor. I walk in peace, and I return in victory. And then move forward without worry. Watch how divine order unfolds around you. The same roads that once seemed difficult will feel lighter. The same situations that used to stress you will start working in your favor. You all realize that sometimes it's not about changing the world around you. It's about changing the energy you bring into it. The salt just helps you remember that you already carry everything you need for blessing and breakthrough. You are the light that transforms your path. And faith is the power that keeps that light burning bright. So step out, boldly, covered in peace, surrounded by grace and ready for every blessing waiting to meet you. In the quiet moments of preparation before you step out into the world, there is a simple, ancient practice that has been forgotten by many but carries profound spiritual significance for those who understand the language of prophetic action. The instruction to put salt in your shoes before going out is not a superstition, ritual, or a magical charm. It is a deeply symbolic act of faith rooted in the biblical understanding of salt as a covenant substance, a purifying agent, and a symbol of preservation and blessing. Throughout Scripture, salt holds a place of sacred importance. God commanded that every grain offering be seasoned with salt, calling it the salt of the covenant of your God. In the ancient world, salt was used to seal covenants, to purify offerings, to preserve food from decay, and to symbolize enduring loyalty and faithfulness. When Elisha threw salt into the bitter waters of Jericho, the waters were healed and became life-giving. When Jesus called his disciples the salt of the earth, he was declaring that they would carry the preserving, purifying, and flavoring presence of God into a world prone to moral decay and spiritual blandness. So when you put salt in your shoes, you are not engaging in folk magic. You are performing a prophetic act that declares over your feet, over your path, and over your journey that the covenant of God goes with you, that the purifying power of his presence precedes you, and that every step you take is consecrated for his purposes. Now, consider the significance of your feet and your shoes in this symbolic act. Your feet are what carry you through the world. They take you to places of work, of relationship, of ministry, of opportunity, and sometimes of danger. They walk through environments that may be spiritually polluted, emotionally draining, or physically hazardous. Your shoes are the covering of your feet, the barrier between you and the ground you tread. By placing salt in your shoes, you are creating a tangible point of contact between your physical journey and your spiritual covering. You are saying, Lord, as I walk through this day, let the covenant of your faithfulness go before me. Let the preserving power of your presence protect me from the decay I may encounter. Let the purifying nature of your spirit cleanse the paths I walk and the places I step. This act declares that you are not walking in your own strength or under your own protection. You are walking as a covenant child of the Most High God, and every footprint you leave is marked by His salt, His seal, His ownership. The salt in your shoes becomes a physical reminder that you carry the covenant with you, that you are the salt of the earth, and that wherever you go, you bring the preserving presence of the kingdom. The act of putting salt in your shoes also carries profound implications for spiritual warfare. In many ancient cultures and throughout biblical history, salt was seen as an agent against evil, a substance that demons could not tolerate and that purified contaminated ground. When you salt your shoes, you are making a declaration that the ground you walk on is claimed for the kingdom. You are saying that no demonic assignment laid for your path will prosper, that no trap set for your feet will ensnare you, that no spiritual contamination from places you visit will cling to you. The salt under your feet becomes a barrier, a line of defense, a spiritual disinfectant that neutralizes the enemy's attempts to use your journey against you. You are walking in authority, not vulnerability. You are stepping forward as one who is covered, protected, and empowered to tread upon serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy without being harmed. The salt in your shoes is your silent declaration of war against every force that would try to trip you, slow you, or stop you. You may also observe changes over time in your circumstances. The consistent practice of salting your shoes as an act of consecration before you go out can lead to a cumulative spiritual effect. Your steps become ordered by the Lord in ways you can perceive. Opportunities appear at the right time. Dangers are avoided without your conscious knowledge. Relationships flourish because you carry the preserving presence of salt into them. Your work becomes more fruitful because the ground you walk on is consecrated. Your witness becomes more effective because you are consciously walking as salt and light. The simple act of placing salt in your shoes becomes a catalyst for a lifestyle of walking in covenant awareness and spiritual authority. Now, let us be clear about what this practice is not. It is not a replacement for prayer, for reading scripture, for living in obedience, for loving God and neighbor. It is not a talisman that works automatically regardless of the heart condition. The power is not in the salt itself, but in the faith behind the act and the God who honors faith expressed through tangible obedience. The salt is a point of contact, a physical anchor for spiritual truth, a reminder of covenant promises. It is effective because you are effective in your faith. So as you do this, let your heart be right. Let your trust be in God, not in the ritual. Let your expectation be in His faithfulness, not in the substance. And then, having done this act of faith, go about your day with the confidence of one who walks under an open heaven. If you are facing specific challenges, you can attach your faith to those challenges as you salt your shoes. Perhaps you are walking into a difficult work situation. As you put the salt in your shoes, pray, Lord, as I walk into that office today, let the covenant salt of your presence preserve my spirit, purify the atmosphere, and give me favor with every person I encounter. Perhaps you are stepping into a season of job searching or ministry expansion. Pray, Lord, consecrate every step I take toward the opportunities you have prepared. Let me walk only where you lead, and let every door I approach be opened by your hand. Perhaps you are walking through a time of relational strain or family difficulty. Pray, Lord, as I walk into these conversations, let your salt bring healing, preservation, and reconciliation. Let my words be seasoned with grace, and my presence bring peace. Make the act specific to your journey, and you will see specific results. As you practice this consistently, you may find that it becomes a cherished part of your daily preparation, a sacred ritual that centers you before you step out. The simple act of reaching for the salt becomes a moment of intentional prayer, a transition from the security of home to the mission of the world. Your shoes become more than footwear. They become instruments of your calling, carriers of covenant, witnesses to your walk with God. And the salt, that humble substance, becomes a profound symbol of all that God has promised to be for you as you journey through life. Now go, take your salt, place it in your shoes with faith and intention. Then step out into your day, your week, your life, with the unshakable confidence that you walk as one who carries the covenant. The salt is under your feet. The Spirit is within you. The angels are around you. The Father is before you. And what happens next will be another chapter in your testimony of walking with God. See it, notice it, give thanks for it, and keep walking one salted step at a time into the glorious destiny He has prepared for you. And now, as this message draws to its close, take a moment to breathe and truly reflect on what it means to put salt in your shoes before stepping out into the world, because it is not just about the act itself. It is about walking with awareness, with faith, with quiet strength. It about understanding that every morning, when you prepare to face the world, you have a choice to step out in worry or to step out in peace. The salt becomes your reminder that you are not alone, that unseen forces of goodness walk beside you. Each grain symbolizes protection, wisdom, and the stability of your faith. When you take that first step out the door, know that the ground beneath you is already blessed, that every path you walk today is a continuation of divine design. The beauty of this small act lies in its humility. It does to need to be seen or praised. It simply works in silence, like most miracles do. The moment you slide your feet into those shoes, you've already aligned yourself with something higher, something ancient, something pure. And even if no one else knows the secret of what you've done, heaven knows. The energy you carry becomes different. You start your day calmer, more grounded, more expectant of good. You no longer walk as someone trying to survive. You walk as someone who knows they are covered by grace. The closing message of this practice is simple. Your faith transforms everything it touches. You may not notice it right away, but one by one, little signs begin to appear. The traffic that should have delayed you clears up. The person who might have ignored you greets you with a smile. The meeting you thought would fail turns into an open door. These are not coincidences. They confirmations that your energy has shifted and that your steps are now guided. Putting salt in your shoes is a symbol, yes, but symbols carry power because they give your spirit something to focus on. It is a conversation between you and the divine, a quiet agreement that says, I am walking in faith today. And when you walk in faith, even the unseen world responds. Angels go ahead of you. Favor surrounds you. Negativity loses its hold. The atmosphere bends toward peace because your spirit has declared it. That, the miracle behind this act, not the salt itself, but the belief that accompanies it. It's the kind of belief that opens doors, protects from harm, and magnetizes blessings. There will be days when you forget or rush out without doing it. And even then, the habit of faith you've built continues to shield you. Because once you train your spirit to walk with intention, it never walks blindly again. The world will try to shake your calm. But you all stand steady because you know that every step you take has already been prayed over. You all feel a difference in how you handle challenges, less fear, more patience, more grace. You all speak differently too, with authority born of peace. That is what spiritual grounding does. It gives you confidence that is loud but unshakable. Even when storms rise, you remember that salt, when placed in water, does disappear. It dissolves and changes everything around it. In the same way, your quiet faith may be unseen, but it transforms every environment you enter. You become the calm in chaos, the light in confusion, the blessing in the room. That is the deeper meaning behind this act. By blessing your feet, you bless your path, and by blessing your path, you bless the world you walk through. So as you go forward, let every step remind you of the power within you. There is nothing too simple for God to use, and nothing too small for faith to transform. The salt in your shoes is just a symbol, but symbols have always carried divine messages. They connect the physical with the spiritual. They help your human heart remember your heavenly power. Every day you do this, you are reprogramming your mind to expect goodness instead of struggle, to walk in peace instead of fear. And soon you will notice that the miracles that used to surprise you now feel natural, because they are the fruit of consistent faith. Your shoes may carry a pinch of salt, but your spirit carries the entire covenant of protection, prosperity, and purpose. You walk into rooms and shift their atmosphere without saying a word. You will face situations that once scared you and feel no fear, because you've learned to walk covered in grace. That is what happens when you make your faith practical. Life begins to respond in practical ways. As you end this day or prepare for the next, remember that divine power often hides in the ordinary. Don't underestimate small beginnings, because God has always used simple things to create great outcomes. A handful of salt, a single prayer, one act of belief, These are the seeds that grow into peace, abundance, and favor. When you wake up tomorrow and slip that salt into your shoes again, smile and know that heaven is watching every step you take. You are walking in divine partnership now. You are no longer hoping for blessings. You are carrying them. With every step, you leave behind traces of faith and strength, and everywhere you go, the energy of peace follows. People might not understand it, but they will feel it. They'll feel drawn to your calmness, inspired by your light, touched by your peace. And that's when you will realize that this simple act was never just about protection, it was about transformation. You did just bless your shoes, you blessed your journey. You did just sprinkle salt, you sprinkled faith. And faith, once activated, never returns empty. So walk boldly, walk peacefully, and walk with gratitude. Don't worry about what is ahead, because the path is already prepared. You don't need to chase opportunities, they will come to you, guided by the light you carry. Even in difficult days, keep the habit alive. Keep blessing your steps with intention. Keep speaking peace into your path. Keep thanking God for every unseen miracle unfolding around you, because that is the real secret. Miracles respond to thankful hearts. The salt may dissolve by the end of the day, but the favor it activated will follow you always. And every night, as you take off your shoes, whisper a final prayer of thanks for all that went right, for all the protection you did to even see, for every hidden blessing that walked beside you. You begin to notice that your days become smoother, your nights more restful, and your confidence unshakable. That the power of walking with faith life may test you, but it cannot break you. And as this message closes, carry this truth with you. The salt in your shoes is not superstition. It symbolism, as the reminder that you carry divine presence wherever you go. You are the light in your workplace, the peace in your family, the vessel through which blessings flow. Walk with dignity because every step is sacred. Walk with faith because unseen hands guide you. Walk with gratitude because grace surrounds you. And when people notice your peace and ask how you stay so calm, smile and simply say, I start my day with a little salt and a lot of faith. Because what they want to see is that your shoes may carry grains of salt, but your heart carries the power that turns ordinary days into extraordinary testimonies. So go out, walk in light, and never forget each step you take in faith creates ripples of blessing that will follow you long after the salt has vanished. The simple act is complete. The salt is in your shoes, placed there not as a mindless ritual, but as a deliberate, faith-filled declaration that you walk under the covenant of the Most High God. As you now prepare to step out into the world, you carry with you more than just the physical sensation of salt beneath your feet. You carry the ancient promises of Scripture, the preserving power of the Holy Spirit, and the tangible reminder that every step you take is consecrated, protected, and purposeful. This closing is not an end, but a beginning, the beginning of walking in heightened spiritual awareness, of seeing your daily journey through the lens of covenant, and of experiencing the difference that prophetic obedience makes in the ordinary moments of life. The salt in your shoes is now a point of contact, a physical anchor for the spiritual reality that you are the salt of the earth, called to preserve, to purify, and to bring flavor to every environment you enter. From this moment forward, your feet are not just feet, they are instruments of your calling. Your steps are not just movement, they are the advance of the kingdom. And your journey is not just travel, it is a procession of faith. Now, as you go out, you must remain spiritually alert to what begins to unfold. The instruction to see what happens invites you into a posture of expectant observation. This is not about looking for dramatic signs or supernatural fireworks, but about becoming aware of the subtle shifts, the divine appointments, the protections you may not have noticed before, and the peace that now accompanies your steps. Pay attention today. Notice if the places you walk feel different. Notice if conversations carry a new depth, or if opportunities appear at unexpected moments. Notice if you sense a heightened awareness of God's presence as you move through your day. The salt under your feet is not magic. It is faith made tangible, and faith always opens doors for God to move in ways that might otherwise remain closed. So keep your spiritual eyes open. Watch for the ways, both great and small, that your steps are being ordered, your path is being prepared, and your presence is making a difference. As you walk, let the physical sensation of the salt serve as a continual reminder of your identity and your covenant. Every time you feel that slight grit or pressure, let it trigger a prayer, a word of thanks, or a declaration of faith. Say in your heart, I am the salt of the earth. I carry the covenant. My steps are ordered by the Lord. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Let that reminder keep you grounded in peace when chaos surrounds you, keep you pure when temptation assails you, and keep you purposeful when distractions try to pull you off course. The salt in your shoes becomes your silent prayer partner, your constant companion in the spiritual walk, reminding you that you do not walk alone and that you do not walk unprotected. You may also find that this simple practice changes how you approach your day before you even step out. The act of deliberately putting salt in your shoes becomes a moment of intentional consecration, a sacred pause between the privacy of your home and the public square of your life. In that moment, you are declaring that you do not enter the world casually or carelessly. You enter it as a representative of the kingdom, as one who has been given a mission and an authority. This shift in mindset alone is transformative. It moves you from being a passive participant in your day to an active agent of God's purposes. You are no longer just going to work. You are going to your assignment. You are no longer just running errands. You are walking through divinely appointed territory. The salt in your shoes consecrates the ordinary and transforms it into the sacred. Remember also that this practice is not a one-time event, but a daily discipline. The consistency of salting your shoes each morning builds a spiritual momentum that accumulates over time. Just as daily prayer deepens your relationship with God, daily consecration of your steps deepens your walk with Him. Make this a non-negotiable part of your preparation, as essential as putting on your shoes themselves. Over weeks and months, you will look back and see a trail of faithfulness, a path marked by protection, provision, and purpose that you may not have fully recognized in the moment. Keep a journal if it helps. Note the ways you see God at work. Record the divine appointments, the closed doors that saved you from danger, the open doors that led to blessing. This record will become your book of remembrance, your evidence that walking with God makes a tangible difference. The salt is in your shoes. The faith is in your heart. The covenant is over your life. The world is before you. Now go, walk with confidence, walk with peace, walk with purpose, and watch with spiritual eyes wide open as the God who orders your steps begins to reveal Himself in the journey. What happens next is between you and Him, but one thing is certain, you will never walk the same way again. Your feet have been consecrated. Your path has been prepared. Your destiny is unfolding one salted step at a time. Go forth and possess the day that awaits you. And most importantly, speak as if it is happening right now. Why use the present tense? Because the universe responds to the energy of what you already have, not what you are desperately waiting for. Talking like your dream has already come true matches your personal elegy to that goal. You could confidently say, I activate this salt to protect me and lead me right now to the financial freedom that is completely mine. Say it like you mean it and really feel that truth glowing in your chest. Now that your salt is sparkling with good intentions, it is time to turn it into a wearable charm. Scoop that blessed salt into a tiny bag or just wrap it up tightly in a little piece of plastic food wrap, whatever is easiest for your daily life. If you want to make it feel a bit more magical, you can wrap it in a small scrap of natural cloth, like cotton or silk, and tie. It's shut with a red string for an extra pop of protective power. The most important thing is that it is wrapped securely because you are going to slip this right inside your shoe. Just remember, you only need a tiny pinch. Please don't pour a whole spoonful in there. The idea is for it to rest comfortably without bothering your foot or making you walk funny. It is meant to be a powerful spiritual shield, not an annoying rock in your shoe. If you're wondering whether you should put the salt in your left or right shoe, it is completely up to you. I personally like using my left shoe because it is on the same side as my heart. Plus, in many spiritual traditions, the left side of the body are all about receiving, which is perfect when you want to attract good things like luck or money. The right side is more about taking action and moving forward. Just go with your gut feeling and pick the side that matches what you are trying to achieve. If you are out and about every day for work, school, or errands, you should keep the salt in your shoe for your entire work week. But when your days off roll around, it is time to take that salt out and sprinkle it outside in a plant pot or near a sturdy tree. Think of the salt as a little energy sponge. All week long, It soaks up any bad vibration, jealousy, or heavy energy thrown your way. Returning it to the earth lets nature naturally wipe away all that built-up junk. To keep the magic going, make a brand new amulet at the start of your week. Sunday night is the perfect time to get ready and focus on your goals for the days ahead. You can keep up this routine for a month, a year, or as long as you like. If you are more of a homebody, you only need to use the salt when you actually leave the house. Just make sure not to leave the exact same pinch of salt sitting in your shoe for more than a month. When you are chilling at home, you are already in your own safe space, so you do not really need the extra protection. As for when you will see results, the good news is that the protection kicks in the second you step out your front door. However, getting exactly what you wished for, like landing a new job or getting a raise, takes time. Remember, magic is a team effort. The salt clears away the bad energy blocking your path, but you still have to do your part in the real world. Stay positive. Truly believe in your goals. And put in the actual work. You can't just put salt in your shoe and wait around on the couch. This is a super simple but ancient way to protect your energy and help you walk smoothly toward your biggest dreams. Thanks for hanging out, keeping an open mind, and sharing your good vibration.